Are you not entertained? What's going on, everybody? I'm putting the hoodie on. Hoodie J. Hoodie Jance in the building. What's going on, everybody? Jance716, aka Jance Sports, back here again, and we are going to talk about this exhausting fucking game that was the Buffalo Bills versus the LA Rams. In an absolute confusing, exhilarating. I can't even put into words how I feel right now about this game. The Buffalo Bills, my team, we almost blew a 28 lead. We almost pulled an Atlanta Falcons, literally an Atlanta Falcons move today. And luckily for our football team, or ironically for our football team, we actually had a call go our way that was a horrible, terrible call by the referees, and it set us up to win the game. I know Rams fans are pissed, but I also know that Bills fans are pissed because of the interception call that wasn't even intercepted. Let's be honest here. Wasn't even intercepted. Worst case scenario, it should have been an incomplete pass because Tyler Kroft clearly had the ball, especially when he was going into the ground, and then the defender snatched the ball away. It was clearly an incomplete pass. And they called it an interception. Mike Pereira even disagreed. I went and checked a whole bunch of referee sites or referee chats where they talk about they talk about certain calls and stuff like that, and they even said that it was a horrible call. It was not a good call. They disagreed it. So everybody, including some of the referees that are college referees, that are professional referees, that specialize in refereeing in football, they disagree with it. Right? There were some former referees, even on Twitter, that I had to check. They even said that they disagree with the call, and they explained why they disagree with it. So it was a horrible call, but guess what? It went towards the Rams' way. And they built off extreme momentum. I mean, they built so much damn momentum on this. It was absolutely crazy. First of all, I got to give a lot of credit to the LA Rams, man. I got to give a lot of credit to Sean McVay, that coaching staff, and those players, because those guys were resilient. These guys were down 3-28 by halftime. I was about to turn it to a different channel because I'm like, this game is in the bag. We won this football game. Josh Allen looks great. Brian Daboll's calling a great game like he normally does in the first half. Defensively wasn't our greatest, but pass defense we were really good in. And then all of a sudden, the Rams, that interception came, and it just changed the entire momentum of the game. That one bad call changed the entire momentum of the football game. Robert Woods was an absolute stud tonight. Cooper Kupp was an absolute stud tonight. The offensive line, I gotta give the offensive line were a bunch of studs in the second half. The run blocking, I mean, they were literally blowing us off the line like 2-3 yards back every single time. Darrell Henderson did his thing. Brown did his thing. Jared Goff was very composed. Especially how he was kind of a little bit hesitant in the first half. The second half came, he went guns blazing. He looked poised out there, looked composed, and he just went out there and he did his thing. The play calling in the second half by the Rams were absolutely phenomenal against our defense. But speaking of our defense is not good this year. I mean, I'm just going to call a spade a spade. We had one of the best defenses last year, but no longer. We have an average defense to maybe below average defense right now, guys, for the way I'm looking at it. And the reason why I'm saying that, because we got the Raiders next, we got the Titans next, we got the Chiefs next. This is a tough schedule against some really, really good high-powered offenses out there. And if we're going to play like how we played against the Rams in the second half at home, how are we going to look against those other teams? So we were physically abused in the run game. The passing, it pretty much set them up in the passing game. And even when the Rams decided to pass the ball a lot, we couldn't stop it. It was nothing we can do. Even when we had the correct coverages, we had the correct defensive assignments for it, still couldn't do anything about it. Levi Wallace got abused off of coverage. We just got absolutely torched this game. Back to back games where a quarterback has thrown for over 300 yards against us. That hasn't happened since 2017. You got to go back to 2017, the last time that's happened to the Buffalo Bills defense. So this was a very, very disappointing effort by our defense. We were tired. All the momentum was entirely lost for us in the first half. It was not good. It just wasn't good for us in the second half, and I don't know. I can't say that we need to play better. We do need to play better, but the way that we looked against the Rams, how in the hell, how are we going to do good against these other teams? I mean, again, it was the second half, but I don't know. I'm just lost for words on that. I was just really disappointed with the effort that our defense played tonight. Offensively, great in the first half, struggled in the third quarter. And it was weird because the third quarter, the Rams just completely took over the quarter. The Rams completely dominated offensively in the third quarter. But when we had our possessions, we had that one scoring drive, which set us up, which is shocking because we normally don't score out in the opening in the third quarter. So by the time I'm thinking, okay, 23, it's over. No, after that, the interception came and we couldn't do anything. Aaron Donald was a menace. The play calling by Brian Dable in the third quarter was fucking awful. Besides that scoring drive, it was awful. I don't know why, and this confused the hell out of me. Why in the hell did we do a stretch play action pass without blocking Aaron Donald? I don't understand why in the hell that happened. But that's the type of day we had. That's the type of quarter we had in the third quarter. I keep saying this week after week after week with the Buffalo Bills. They have the best offensive coordinator in the first half, but we have the worst offensive coordinator in the third quarter. And the Rams built a comeback solely off of the third quarter. And Brian Dable, let me ask you a question, sir. Why in the hell Devin Singletary averaging almost 6 yards a carry, and he's not getting the football more? I mean, at this point, I understand that we want to throw the football a lot. We're not holding Josh Allen's hand anymore. But for God's sake, if someone is giving you 6 yards a carry, if the run game is proving to be successful, why not try to build off of it? Especially when you have a 28-3 lead. I don't understand. Listen, I get it. We want to come off at a hot start. But at a 28-3 lead and your running back is averaging 5 yards a carry, why in the hell are you not giving the fucking ball to Devin Singletary? Even TJ Yeldon's out here. TJ Yeldon's out here averaging more than 4 yards a carry. What the fuck? But the fourth quarter came, and it wasn't until guess it, midway through the fourth quarter, that's when the offense started to spark. Literally midway through the fourth quarter, late in the fourth quarter. That's when the offense started to spark. Just like the Jets game, just like the Dolphins game, and just like the Rams game, and just like just like last year in the majority of our games. We were great in the first half, shitty in the third quarter, and we were great midway through the fourth quarter. That's the Buffalo Bills offensive approach. And at some point, we have got to establish an identity in the fucking third quarter. I don't know what's wrong with the Bills in the third quarter offensively, but we gotta fix it. And it's not hard to fix it that much, man. We're running the ball great this week. Oh, I just can't get over that. But the fourth quarter, this is where the fourth quarter, I gotta give the credit to Brian Dable. We established a drive. We had old versions of Josh Allen tonight. We definitely saw some old versions when he's scrambling around and he's carrying the ball. He's carrying the ball very carelessly, and he's making really, really dumb pass attempts. And then there were the bright spots of Josh Allen's day, which was the majority of the game, where he's just shredding the defense, making plays with his legs, and he ultimately won us the game. Now let's talk about the pass interference call. This is what I'm going to say. It was a shitty play call. I'm sorry, it was a shitty call by the referees. I agree with that. It was shit. Absolute garbage. But at the same time, you can, as a Bills fan, you kind of want to call it karma because you had a shitty call with the interception that changed the tide of the game, and you had a shitty call for the Rams that went our way that ultimately helped us win the game. And I understand it was on fourth and 7, but it is what it is. All I can say is that it wasn't pass interference as a Bills fan, even though I know it was. I could say now that I don't give a shit. We're 3-0. We can move on. We can move on for this week. We're not the Atlanta Falcons. The league is not gonna talk about us, bashing us, even though they probably are. They're not really gonna bash us as hard. But damn it, we should have put this team away. And we actually were in position. We're literally in position to doing it, and we almost choked it. We got to get better, especially because it's only going to get tougher. But a lot of credit has to go to Allen. I'll give Dable the credit for the great first half play calling and what he did late in the drive in the fourth. The offensive line, despite them kind of falling apart, regrouped itself after having a great first half. And Devin Singletary once again becomes the beast. And I feel so bad for that dude. I don't know what Brian Dable has done with him, but I feel so bad for Singletary because he deserves more touches. That dude easily could have had 100 yards today. But ultimately, we got the win, and hopefully we can see better next week for our Bills. But anyway, Jan716, a.k.a. Jan Sports. I'm exhausted, and I'm out.